Hello, this is Crypto CJ. It's a trade of the day, Friday afternoon Zoom edition. Usually I would go over the market in general, but we have a trade set up as we speak. So let's get over to my 5 minute phantom chart, FTM. You folks seeing that, FTM? Okay.
Yes,
Thank you, Tama.
you're welcome.
And on Altcoin Alert, this is the highest AA score, at least it was half an hour ago. Yeah, 86.4. I haven't seen it score this high in a while. So that piqued my interest. It actually is down 5% today, but on the 5 minute chart, we have a 1, 2, 3 dip setup. You can see the squeeze here and the bubbling out of the Bollinger Bands on the 5 minute chart. And we got a 1, 2, 3, actually 4 dipper. And I got in right around here. Not trading advice, but it's rare that we actually see a trade setup during, the Monday or Friday Zoom call. So I thought I'd let you guys know. So if you're interested in getting into a 1, 2, 3 dip, um, this one looks pretty good to me. You could set your exit here there's a couple options for that. I got in at 4,665. So there's a little bit of resistance here. That's about a 1%. The SMA line is here about 1.25%. And there's some more resistance right about here for just under 3%. And the top resistance, at least recent resistance, is up here around 3.5. I'm looking for about a 3% move on this. So we'll see what happens. Um, all right, we'll talk about this setup a little bit more later, but I wanted to make you aware of it in case you guys wanted to jump in. So let's go back to the usual format and talk about the market in general, Bitcoin and Ethereum. So now I'm over here on my Bitcoin 1 day chart, and we've been hanging around 23K most of the day. Mostly sideways since Monday. We're up about 1 or 2%. We did have a couple spikes up here. This one on Wednesday hit 23.8, but couldn't hold it. We closed, I think, at 23.1 that day, and that's kind of where we're hanging around now. 23,000 seems to be a psychological barrier. Maybe we'll break through it over the weekend or on Monday. That would be pretty cool. But at the moment, again, mostly going sideways. Okay. Um, let's see. I forgot to check the news. We are above 1 trillion with the total big with the total crypto market. So that's nice to see. In this article, at least, says that there's more upside in store. So you might want to check that out. Cointelegraph article here linked to Bitcoin in the TradingView chart. Okay, we're towards the top of the range. This is the range we've been in since the summer. I think I drew this back on in June, and we are towards the top of the range, which I've got here set at 24.5. I think we need to break through this before we hit obviously 25, and once we get through that psychological barrier, there's not a whole lot of resistance going up to 30K. But I'd like to see continued closes of Bitcoin over 20,000 to facilitate that. On Ethereum, we're towards the upper part. We're past the middle portion of the zone that we've been in for quite a while. Same time back in June, between 1,000 and 2,000. Obviously, at 1,600, we're more than halfway up to 2K. So a little more downtrend on Ethereum than Bitcoin. On Monday, we closed here, right around 15.9, and actually, no, make that 16.25 down to 15.95. Not a huge move, less than 2%, but Bitcoin's up a little, Ethereum's down a little. Any questions or comments about the markets overall? Okay, let's go over to Altcoin Alert and see if we can find some more trades. Okay, I'm on Altcoin Alert. I'm on the altcoin radar as opposed to the dashboard. Whoa, that was quite an echo. Okay, it's gone. And I'm doing my first sort by the AA score. Go ahead and resort this, make sure it's current. And the first coin I'm going to look at is Phantom. We looked at the 5-minute chart already. And we had a spike up, but it didn't last long. All right, so let's say, CJ, I want to do some more research before I get in, so I don't want to get in at the moment. You may want to wait till it could drop down. Here's a little bit of support at 46.45. Some more over here if you want to set an alert at around 45.75. So those are other two options for price alerts based on short-term support on the 5-minute chart. As you know, I like the 15-minute chart and the indicator alerts. There's a few I like to use. I'm going to show you divergence first. Divergence is a disagreement between the price action and the indicators. The red ones here are bearish divergence and the green are bullish. Actually, none of these have done that well. Yeah, none of these are doing well. So I'm gonna get out of this. In a trending market, I like to use a trending indicator. So I've been using SuperTrend lately with some modifications. I dropped the ATR period down from 10, which is the default, to 5. Makes it a little more sensitive. And I've done pretty well with it the last week to 10 days. You can see here, the buys have done really well. The sells have not. So if you're trading leverage on a short, you may want to incorporate a stop loss, 5 to 10%. Keep it kind of tight. On the buy side, I usually use a ladder buy, one ladder buy, and then get out at 10 to 15% if it goes against me that badly. But yeah, as you can see, the buys are doing really well. Yeah, this buy here is from earlier today, and up almost 3%, not bad. So, and it's easy to set alerts on these. Right click on SuperTrend. You could go with if you want to go long, you go with the buy. If you want to go short, you go with the sell. And if you want to trade both directions, direction change. Make sure to click once per bar close if you want to be on all day. And this will also ensure that the candle closes before the alert is triggered. That way you don't get a repaint situation where if the candle hasn't closed, it might flicker and show you to buy or sell and then go away when the candle changes upon closing. And then call the alert name. I like to use my information source, so this would be AA score, and be good to go. Since I'm in this one already, I don't really need an alert to get back in. And another option is the RSI. I like to, on the long side, I like to have it drop below the 30, which is considered the oversold area, and then start to come back up. So I like crossing up on the 30 value on the RSI, but this hasn't hit the 30 value since Tuesday. And that was a really good trade. If you see here, it went through a dip sequence on the 15-minute chart and then had a hard bounce. So had you had an alert here like this, add an alert on the RSI crossing up on the 30 value, which is considered the oversold once per bar close. AA score. Yeah, that would have been a good one because that alert would have gone out off. Well, actually, it would have gone off a few times depending on when you set it. Let's say you set it immediately. I mean, first thing in the morning, this one would have gone off. And you get 1.7%, not bad. And then you're down a little bit. Maybe you do a ladder buy here. And then, yeah, you're in good shape at that point. Your first position breaks even or makes a small profit, and then your second position, you're up like 7 or 8%. That's a really good day trade. So, all right. Well, I'll give you a few different scenarios there on FTM. Any questions? Okay. Let's look at another one. I don't have any other values over 80. That's not necessarily a deal breaker, but I want to show you guys some different sorts as well. I also like to look at the Elder Impulse Daily, which is a technical indicator. If you hover over this question mark, it'll explain what it is. And long-term sentiment, which is the Twitter data, what people are talking about online. So when these two line up, that's worth more investigation. So I'm going to sort by long-term sentiment. And very bullish and bullish on hot and on MATIC. I like MATIC better than hot. So let's look at that one. I think I have it up anyway. Yeah, here we go. Okay, on the 5-minute chart, I thought we were going to potentially go into a dip sequence like we have in FTM because we had the squeeze and then it bubbled out a little bit. We've already hit the SMA line after 2 dips, so this one is invalid at the moment. And on a longer term look at MATIC, I was looking at this earlier. Must have been the day chart. Yeah, we had a big move for this one back in November, up to about $1.25, 26. So we seem to be pumping towards that again. There's a lot of good news. MATIC's really, if you were on the CryptNation call yesterday, they had converted some skeptics. MATIC has because they work hard. They have a lot of partnerships.
He suggests that label is misleading.
Okay, what is going on? Okay. Sorry, I had some really bad interference or feedback. So MATIC on the day chart has potential to return this 125 area, so that's intriguing with the big pump it's had. And is that mine? Maybe it is. And let's see, where were we? So that's the resistance area on the 15-minute chart for our indicator alerts. The SuperTrend's done really well. Yeah, it's got monster moves. There's 10% there. This one's even higher. Well, 8% actually, 9%. So the last two that triggered were really good. 5% there. So, and again, none of the cells did that well. So keep that in mind. You might want to go with a trend alert of some kind. There are lots of trend indicators on TradingView. You just type in trend and it'll give you a bunch of them. The super trend with the aforementioned adjustment is the one I've been using lately. All right, well, let's look at some other options then on divergence. The bullish ones have done well. This one here, it late on Wednesday, went sideways for a while, then made this move. This one on the MFI on last night went up 3%, dropped, and then 9%. So those are really good. Again, the bearish one's not so much. This one's not bad. 3.5%. But the rest of them, yeah, didn't work out. So might stick with the trend alerts until the market gets choppier. And then the RSI hasn't dropped below 30 since Tuesday afternoon. This one would have been a pretty good trade here. Would have gotten in right about here. Goes against me at first, but 5%, good stuff. So you might want to do, and there's nothing wrong with doing multiple alerts. You can do divergence, SuperTrend, and RSI. When I'm doing a SuperTrend alert, I look at these for confirmation. So let's put that one back. So for example, this buy alert here, the trend direction's showing, very positive in the bullish direction. The RSI is towards the top um, of the range, could be considered overbought, but I have found a lot of times when something's overbought, it'll hang around here for a while, and sometimes you can get these moves. I considered just trading this before. I back tested a little bit. Wasn't quite as good as I thought it would be, but yeah, 8% after it hits the overbought area. So yeah, really, really nice alerts here on the super trend. Okay, any questions on MATIC? Okay, let's see what else we can find. The other one that stood out to me, stores up 10% today. Very bullish on sentiment, bullish on the daily Elder Impulse Daily. So I've got that one up too. See on the 5-minute. No div sequence yet, kind of squeezy. Yeah, less than 2%. So it could really go either way. Just trending up though. Some short-term support here, just under 40 cents, like 39 and a half. Again here at about 37, 38 cents. And again, right about here at 37.2. So those could be potential entries. Let's say if you want to try to get in here, real quick review. Right click. Make sure you don't right click on an indicator. It's going to think you want to do an alert for that indicator. So click away from an indicator and crossing value 38.50. Actually, this is we were sorting by the long-term sentiment. So there you go on that one. But as you know, I prefer 15-minute indicator alerts. Excuse me. Super trend looking good again. On the buy side, on the sell side, it's not. So keep that in mind. This was a good sell back on, we had a dip on, that was, yeah, I remember that Tuesday afternoon. I was in a couple shorts that I got out of right about here. So okay, on divergence. For obvious reasons, you get the divergence alerts going against you because it's trying to find, it's trying to predict a reversal. And, it hasn't done so well on these. Some of them have had moves down. This one did here. That's a pretty good move down, 3.3%, because you're probably going to be on some leverage if you're doing this, like 5 or 10x. But again, don't trade leverage until you've done a lot of spot trading. So these aren't bad. 1 to 2% on the bear side on some of them. Okay. And we looked at SuperTrend, and on the RSI, it has not been down below 30 since that big dip. And had you gotten in, this would have been kind of dramatic. Almost 7%, 6% against you. But eventually, you get out with some decent profit, 4%. Takes about a day and a quarter, but not bad. But you haven't had that in a few days. So I'm still plugging along with the super trend. I use that one most of this week. It's simple and gives pretty good entries in a trending market. Okay, let's look at any questions on stores. Let's do a different sort and see if we can find a short for the weekend. Generally speaking, volumes are lower on the weekends, and that can facilitate short trades. Though lately, with the market, pumping up, Bitcoin and Ethereum up, 35, 40% since the beginning of the year, you could get burned on that. So if you are going to do a short, again, use that stop loss. So I'm going to sort long-term sentiment. I got 31 bearish entries. And I'm going to see if I can match it up with the Elder Impulse Daily. It's only got 4. See, these values here will show you, how many are in each category. So this is telling me, the red 31, bearish or very bearish, and the 4, bearish on the short side. Actually, I should sort by this one. Yeah, none of the bearish coins, have any tweets. These are all, smaller volume coins. So I'm not really seeing the Elder Impulse helping me out, at least matching these two up like I like to. So we could also go by 24-hour change and see what's been pummeled. Beam and keep. Keep, it was pumping like crazy for a while, but looks like it's had a pullback. A band is down 5%. Audio is pumping. It's down 4 out of short on this. Made a small profit on it this morning. Cody was moving up quite a bit. So let's go with audio on the short of the weekend. Okay, here we go. Do we have one now? Not really. Instead of a 1, 2, 3 dip on a 5-minute chart, you're looking for a 1, 2, 3 pump. Something like this. 1, 2, almost 3, and then. But again, I like to find these with. I don't think we have enough distance in the Bollinger Bands to really use that as where to set an alert. We had a bubble situation like this, then you could set an alert on the top of the Bollinger Band, like crossing down. Alert on BB, crossing down, value. Yeah, it'll let you set an alert crossing down on the upper. You can also do it on the lower Bollinger Band, crossing down on the upper, once per bar close, and call it what you want. If you want to do that type of alert. I don't use that for alerts. I mean, I do use the Bollinger Bands for entries sometimes. But again, this is going to be something I use on my 15-minute chart. And divergence works pretty well for finding shorts. I added the OBV, on balance volume. Didn't have that one in there before, but one of my peers suggested I should pay more attention to volume. So, Connie, if you've seen this, this is for you. Yeah, that was a nice move down there, as was this. This one here, not bad, 2%. So some of these moves are pretty good on Divergence, on SuperTrend. Better than some of the others we've seen. And this one here, it did go up almost 4% before dropping, quite a bit more. So this one here, dropped 7%. This one, these are all nice moves. So I mean, audio is doing a lot of this, which is just really, really nice for the kind of trading, I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this one. Super trend, sell once per bar close. That was my AA 24-hour change sort and create, and that's gonna be my short of the weekend. I may add some more, later on tonight or tomorrow, but that's the one I'm keeping an eye on. Okay, any questions on Altcoin Alert, the market overall, the coins we went through? Did we get Craig on here yet? Thought I saw him.
Yep, I'm here.
All right, there he is. You're not going to discourage my short?
No, not today. No.
All right, no. Was that what, last Friday or the Friday before? You're like, CJ, what are you doing? You can't short
Yeah,
this.
yeah, that was then. But I mean, it's ranging.
Yeah,
So, but there was a couple of other factors involved in that weekend. Can't remember specifically what they were, but um, there was news and there was different things that were indicating that it probably wouldn't short, and it didn't.
yeah.
Remember rightly?
You're right. You talked me out of it. I didn't short that weekend. So
Hey CJ, have you done anything with APT this month?
yeah. Yeah, I traded that one. Let's see. I did a long on that one. I was in, I had to ladder buy that one, went against me, and then I took another position. So my first position broke even, and my second one made about 8%. So 4% between the two. So that worked out pretty well.
Yeah,
That
'cause
was a super trend trade I initiated on Monday and got out of it on Tuesday night. So
yeah, I'm scared now because it's just gone like 400% this month.
yeah, well, let's look at it. Now I'm curious. Didn't really show up on anything I was looking at the last couple days. So it's gone mostly sideways since that big move. Let's look at the hour chart. Yeah, so it makes the big move here, 50%, 65%. And then, you know, loses about 20% of that. So this one, let's look at the super trend on this, see if it's picking up any good. Yeah, it's just, no, it's not bad. Get in here, 2%, 1%. I like the audio one better, but yeah, this is okay. It's mostly sideways. There are better options than this at the moment, but yeah, it did have a big move earlier in the week, and one would think that would drop at some point. But if Bitcoin keeps pumping, it might ride that. Yeah, we'll see. All right, thanks, Adam. Anything else? Any other coins you want to go over or things you want to talk about regarding day trading and Altcoin Alert? Oh, I do want to say something about Altcoin Alert in general. This is one of a few information sources I use. I don't really market it. For one, they don't have an affiliate plan, so that's a bummer. But, a lot of you guys I met through this, and just I saw sort of a kind of a hole in the training. They weren't really teaching. It's kind of an interesting tool to me, and it really cut my analysis down considerably. But it's mostly I use it to identify coins to look at further. I don't trade off of its signals or anything like that. It's not a do everything for you kind of thing. And if you're not in CryptNation, which is the broader group that a lot of us belong to, if you go to its website, it's going to charge you the institutional rate of, I don't know, it's $7.99, $9.99, something like that, like several $100s. But if you're a member of CryptNation, which is a broader educational group, then I think it's $99 a month. So,
Yeah, it was $1,000 a year.
right. That's how I joined, and a lot of people did. So, um, I do like it. It does save me time, but you can find, you can create trading view sorts and find a lot of the technical information the same way. Where it is different than the things like that is the Twitter data, the sentiment. So, now whether a bunch of people talking about it on Twitter is going to lead to significant trade movement, you know, it doesn't always work that way, but I like having that extra information. So anyway, it's not really a sales pitch. It's sort of something I provide, for the group, to meet people in the group and talk about day trading and other crypto stuff. So there was some mention of this in another group I belong to, the Carbon group, and they were asking about this. So I'm sort of addressing that now, as opposed to trying to write a long post in that Carbon group. All right, well, if there's nothing else, I'll go ahead and wrap it up here for the AA call. Frank, I did get your message. Thanks for that. And if you are a Carbon member and you want to stick around for that, that's next. If you're not and you want to head out, have a good weekend. Hopefully we'll see you on Monday.